Hello guys, welcome to another YouTube video, and today is my first video with a new microphone, and this is the Yeti Nano. I'm so happy that I purchased this. I'm so amazed how the sound quality is. I think the sound quality is amazing. It kind of like gets rid of all the noise. Like I'm playing music right now at a pretty high volume, and you won't be able to tell because the way this records the audio is basically just focuses on whatever is receiving into the input of the microphone. So I think it's great, and I hope you guys can enjoy it a little bit more. So what you're seeing right here is a little bit of the code of what we're going to do today. So I already did this prior to the video, so we can save some time maybe, and I don't know, let me know if you guys like me doing shorter videos, which I'm pretty sure you will appreciate it. But yeah, I don't know. So the finished product is this. So as you can see, I changed the color to white. So I went ahead to the values, colors, and just changed. This was dark gray, just changed the name to white, and I did this hexadecimal code. So once I did that, prior to this video, we just had the login activity, and as you see here, the background is white. What also you can see, I'm going to try to make this a little bit bigger, is that this has some padding here. So I added the padding in all the edit text elements, and I added a padding left of 20 density pixels. So you guys go ahead and update that, and I think it looks a little bit cleaner. Well, I think it looks a lot cleaner. And there's a so I'm gonna showcase what I did for this video. So basically, if you see, well, you already saw how the sign works, so I'm not gonna show the sign in again. I'm gonna go ahead, as you so if you don't have an account yet, click here, it'll take you to registration, right? So I'm just going to put Adriana at gmail.com, password 123456, password, and let's just test this. Let's say that someone messes up and types 5 twice, right? So click register and make sure both passes match. Or let's say that someone forgets to put the second password. So all fields are required. So all of this has verification and validation in order for you to input the expected input. So you register, and you can see the toast saying registration was successful, right? And here I just added the logout button. That way, like, you don't have to like uninstall the application, so you can go ahead and, you know, test it without such a hassle. So I'm gonna log out, and we're back to the login. Now you just saw that I registered with Adriana, so now I'm gonna sign in with that same username. So Adriana at gmail.com 123456, if I get it right. Sign in. Oh, maybe I entered this wrong. At Gmail. There you go. I was just typing the password wrong. So I don't know if I'll make this a little bit smaller so you can see the phone a little bit better. But yeah, it shouldn't be that bad. Anyway, moving on. So that's what we're going to do for today. So since I already built this, and by the way, what you see right here, this is a terminal. This is a built-in terminal in Android Studio. As you can see here, the terminal, and I use this for my GitHub repository, and I really advise you guys to create a GitHub repository for any project in general, but for this, because at least in my experience, like, you commit a lot of mistakes, And what's really cool and nice about GitHub, just think of it as, if you don't know about it, of course, just think about it as if you play like, say, Pokemon Yellow version, and you want to save it prior to like a point where you know that you made like commit a lot of mistakes or attempts or whatever. So you save it prior to that, and if something goes wrong, you just like, you don't want to go hours and hours and hours trying to figure out what happened. Just wipe it off, leave off at where you left off with like everything working, and that's what GitHub mainly works for. And there's more, obviously there's more applications and functionalities to it, but that's one of the applications and functionalities. So if you've seen the link that I put in my video description, this is where it points to my GitHub repo. This is my GitHub repo. But in case that you don't know how to create a GitHub repo for Android, it's actually really easy. So basically just create your GitHub account, you go to your profile, which mine is right here. You literally do that, create new repository, so blah blah blah. I'm just gonna delete this, so I'm just gonna put test Kotlin, create repository. Now you're prompted with this, and what I find that is really easy is like create a new one. You don't want to create it from your terminal. I know I used to create it before through my terminal, but I really don't recommend it because it's so much easier. You literally copy this and then you just put command paste. And I'm not gonna do it right now because I already have a repository, and then it's gonna have like conflicts between the two repositories. But you literally do command paste, and once you do that, I'm actually gonna go out. Okay, so yeah, once you do that, then you do your first git add and dot. By doing git add dot means that you are adding all those files to your local repository. Well, you're staging them. You're adding them to the staging process. So you do that. Since I don't have no files to add, you won't see anything here. But let's say that I'm just gonna change my login activity quickly. I'm just gonna put like a comment. So comment for GitHub, just so you guys can see how it actually works. So I do git, and actually I just want to command copy this because I don't want to have the GitHub thing. So git status, as you can see, I modified login activity.kotlin, which is this one right here, and it was just a very minor change, but nonetheless GitHub tracks this. So I do git add, and the dot, when you do add space dot, it means that you're adding all the files into a GitHub repository. And you do git commit, and you want to do this because you're putting like a message, otherwise you're going to be prompted with a Vim editor, and some people don't know what Vim editors are. I actually have I will make Unix tutorials on how to use Vim and or Emacs, but anyways, going back to this, you just want to put a message in what you just did. So what did I do? Add a comment to show how to do GitHub processes, and then you want to git push origin master. Means that you're pushing your changes to the master branch. And I won't get too much into this because there's plenty of videos that will probably do a better job than I will, and this is not the focus, but just know that you can do this, and this is really good for do versioning control. So now you do git log, you can see, and by the way, you can scroll with arrow up and arrow down. So this is my last commit. This was right now at 3 a.m. Yeah, it's 3 a.m. right now. So, and you can see the message. So added a comment to show how the GitHub processes work. I forgot to add work. But anyway, this is good so you can have yourself an idea of what were you doing at this commit. And the commit is encoded with this hash or whatever you want to call it. Here you can see add a logout feature and user checkout, add a registration feature. And some people that do know how to use GitHub, you guys may say, oh, you're not using it right, but, you know, whatever. I just want to show you guys in case that you don't know how to use it. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to backtrack into one of my Git commits so I can kind of like redo what I just did not so long ago. So I'm basically gonna do this from scratch, and I don't know. Hopefully it comes out well. So added logout feature, no. Added registration, no. First setup commit. Okay, so I want to backtrack to this one. Yeah, I don't know if I want to backtrack that much because there's a lot of changes. See, and this is why it is important to commit often, because otherwise you have a huge gap like I just do from Friday to, well, it's technically Wednesday, but you know, Thursday at 3 a.m. or 2, whatever. Yeah, there's a huge jump, and this is because I was on a holiday trip. But nonetheless, you want to commit as often as you can. That way you don't have huge gaps between your save points. So yeah, what I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna do Command C and see where I had it. So in the login activity, I didn't do much. Main activity. And yeah, even though you can just pause the video and see like the finished product, I think it's always good to see like the thought process of whoever is making the application. So yeah, I actually did a lot of attempts on how to make the register. And actually, you know what? I'm just gonna do it as if this was a new application. And trust me guys, I've been going at this for so long that I know exactly what to do, which I'm going to explain right now. And I think this should be just as if you just created it. Okay, so, and I want to track my time because I want to see if I can beat 40 minutes. I really don't want to take 40 minutes long. So, let's see. Okay, so we didn't have this. I just went ahead and created this. So, and this, don't pay attention to this. I'm gonna talk about this in the next video. So, you know, in order to create a new activity, you go to new, you go to, you can type ACT and you go to activity and you choose empty activity, you choose empty activity. Well, I already have it, but you know, register activity, and then it's going to create, here it automatically is adding the 2 because I already have this, but yours won't have the 2. And this will create this resource layout file, the register activity.kotlin file, and it will add it to your manifest file. So that's why I rather do it with new activity rather than like new class, new resource file, and then add it yourself. Just as I showed in the previous video, know that that's happening. And this is the default class that you're gonna get. This is register. Now for this, I believe that it's not really necessary for me to go step by step because it's very similar to what we did with the login activity. So here, what I just did is I just added an image, and I would just suggest to like literally copy because you already know what's happening. With the edit texts, I'm literally just adding the same edit text that I did in the login activity, but just name them differently. And as I mentioned before, I added the panning left, which is, I think it looks nicer. And which, by the way, thank you to the user on Instagram who suggested it. Yeah, you guys can go ahead and follow me at Instagram. I'll put it on the link below. But yeah, So I went and did this. So just meanwhile I scroll down, just pause the video and copy this. I don't think there's really a necessity for me to explain because it works just exactly the same as in the login activity layout file. Now the only thing that is new is this. Now if you're wondering where does this come from, don't worry. It comes from here. From here, circle image view library. So that you're just gonna add this library. It works. You can add. I added this button navigation view library, but we're not gonna use it right now. And I'm planning to add a design library, but again, don't worry about this. You just need to add the circle image library in order to have this element right here. So that said, oh, by the way, if you're using a Mac, you see how my sign menu disappeared. If you press Command 1, it pops back again. So Command 1, it toggles the menu. Now, if you want to just use your keyboard, so I press Command 2. So right now I'm in the file, Command 2. And you can play with Command 1 and Command 2. But, well, actually, you press Command 1 to go into the menu, and then Command 2 to go back into the file. So Command 1, Command 2, Command 1, Command 2. And I think it's really nice because that way you don't have to use your mouse, but you know, whatever. So, okay, now that you guys pause this and copy this, I'm gonna press Command Shift O, and I'm going to go to the register activity, which is what we're going to do. So now, what we're going to do is 3 things right now. So what we want to do is first set up a Firebase instance. Then we want to create the register logic, and then create the click listener button setup logic, whatever you want to call it. Those are the 3 things that we're going to do. Obviously this is very oversimplified, but just so you guys know what we're doing. And I'm actually going to do it in that order because otherwise nothing will work if we don't do it in this order. And then later on I'm just gonna do the login and the main activity, like the things that you saw. So login, oh, I didn't show you guys. So basically, let me show you quickly because I think this is really cool, and this is one of the things that I like about the way I do the login method. Not many people do it. So I sign in, right? Now that I'm signed in, I'm just gonna close the application, and then I'm gonna open it again, and it's called chain links. It should be quick link. You see this? It went straight into the main activity. It didn't go through the login. Why? Because Firebase knows that you're currently signed in. You have like a session, so to speak. So now you don't have to log in every single time you open the application. And that is also set up in the login activity. And well, the logout button is in the main activity, but I'm gonna show you that in a bit. So sorry for digressing. Okay, so let's do this. You want to set up the Firebase variable up here. So first, very important, in case you want to do some sort of console login. And then, yeah, I just want to do this because I want to have my notes. Okay, so we're going to do private val private latent it var, and we're gonna call this a moth again because this how do you say, a default. Default is not the word. I said it before, but the standard, I guess. No, that's not the word I'm looking for. Anyways, this is the way that a lot of people set it up. So, and you're gonna see in the docs how people set this up. It's just exactly the same, so that's why we're gonna write it this way. And I want to change this song because I don't like it, so bear with me. Okay. Okay. So just like we have here in login activity, we have private latenit bar moth Firebase, and then we have this. We're gonna do the same. So I can copy paste it if you guys want, but you know, it's not that bad. Firebase alt.get instance. So we want to get the instance inside of the onCreate function. So now that we have that going on, then we want to create a register activity. So what we're going to do is override function onRegister. I guess we can have it private. Bear with me, I'm not like 100% Kotlin savvy, so what happened just here is that it's not overriding anything, so the IntelliSense thing is telling me like, oh, it's not overriding anything, just make it private or make it public, whatever, just no need for override. So for now, I'm just gonna leave it in private. So then what we're going to do here is do some authentication. And the way we do it is that first we want to get what the user is going to input here. So what are this? So remember that in order to get the information from here, we have to call the elements by its IDs. So if you didn't remember, we're basically saying like, hey, the full name, it's called edit full name, right? So what we do is value full name without any typos equals edt full name text to string. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and we don't need the bottom, not here. So I'm just gonna copy paste this 4 times. I know it's not the best practice, but just save some time. So now the next one is the email. So email, and then this is gonna be edt email. Then the next one is going to be password. edt password. This is edt password 2. I'm just gonna call this password 2. By the way, this I'm just calling it whatever I want, just so you guys know that I'm not like linking this to anything specific. I'm creating this value right now, which you're gonna see why. So to do our validation, as you guys saw, we have to do some if statements. So if the full name dot is empty or the email dot is empty or the password dot is empty or the password 2 is empty, then we want to show a toast saying all fields are required. Else means that this test doesn't pass and we can keep on going with our authentication method. Now we also want to check that if our password is the same as our confirm password, which we called it password 2, then we go ahead and continue with our logic. Else we want to show a toast saying passwords must match. And if you guys are very like particular for not saying another word, well, whatever, I don't think this is going to be monetized either way. If you're very anal about procedures, you can actually put the toast within the if, just as we did here, and then in the else we handle the logic here. But yeah, I don't know, it looks odd, but whatever, it's just the way it is. Kotlin is so thin that you get to see that. So let's keep on going. So now we're gonna do the create user. So I'm auth create user with create user. There you go, create user with email and password. And by the way, I'm pressing tab to autocomplete everything in case you guys didn't know. So with that, you just need the email and the password. Now we're not going to use the second password or the full name because we don't need it, but we'll just do this for authentication, for validation right now, and later on we're going to put these values into our real-time database, but that's going to be in another video. So now that we have that, we want to put a non-complete listener, and if it is successful, we want to show a toast saying registration was successful. Otherwise, if you get all the way there and you don't get registered, it means that either the internet was down or simply something went wrong. And you want to tell the user to please try again later. Yeah, I don't see any typos, at least so far. So now that we have all that, this is literally the registration method. Really simple. So we just did this Firebase instance, and we just did the register method. Now we just need to set up the button and we're done. So now here, just as we did in the login, I'm going to do view.onClickListener, and then we're going to get this red thing. So I'm going to do the option key and enter, and it's going to give you like a bunch of suggestions. I'm going to put implement members, and I'm going to change this to view, just for, just to keep it the same, because here I think I also have view, yeah, right here. So we're going to do the same here. So we do one view.id, and let me see how I did in the login. View ID. So we're going to do r.id, and we're going to do register button. We're going to do on register. Then here I believe I don't need the view parameters, because this is just pull out within the method, so we just want that. And then on the create, we want to set the click listener, which we're going to set it on this element on the register btn set on click listener. And since we already handled the logic, because the logic is like, we're telling that we're going to do this function and this function is going to do all this. So you see, it's all very nice and compact. So now that we have that, well, first let's test it. And hopefully I finish because I have very little battery. Hopefully I can finish on time. So this is now up to, like, it's live updated with like the code that I did just now with you guys. It shouldn't have all the stuff that I had. So I don't know. Test email test at gmail.com 3, 4, 5, 6 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I put a double 6 on purpose just to test. Something went wrong. Please try again later. Actually, the password is not the same, so yes, if this are not the same, Jesus, it's me messing it up again, just for changing a little bit the method on the fly. Yeah, I hope you guys caught that on the video. I mean, when I did it. So let's do it again. Test. Password must match. Perfect. So that works. Now let's leave it empty, because you know some people just leave it empty. All fields are required. Perfect. So now let's do 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Now they should match. And something went wrong. I think maybe this user is already signed in because I didn't do proper validation the first time. Yes, and it's because it's already created. So what did I miss here? Here I'm actually missing the start activity, intent. We want to do this, and we want to send the user to main activity class.java, and then finish. Because obviously, if it's successful, I want to tell, oh, registration was successful, and we want to send it to the main activity. And this finish means that like they won't be able to go back into that activity because they're already signed in, and that's a really good habit. It's really good. It's not habit. I don't know why I cannot find the correct words right now, but it's cool. It's good. Procedure, standard procedure, maybe. Yeah, because when they log out and you put this finish, they won't be able to go back into the application. They have to log in again. That's good security. So now we have this. We should be able to log in. Quick link. So test at gmail.com 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there you go. And this should not be here. Well, I mean, oh, this may not work though, but I didn't delete the button. And what I just did is I basically copy pasted the button from the login method. Instead of being login button, I just got log out, and that's literally it. Actually, maybe I put 50 margin instead of 20, so it looks a little bit smaller. But other than that, it's exactly the same, and text says log out. So yeah, you guys go ahead and copy this. But so yeah, it shouldn't work, because there you go, it doesn't work. So now what we do is that if we're on the main activity, we want to do exactly the same. Set out on click listener. So view dot, and with option enter in order to, you know, do that. And then again, option enter, implement members. We're going to do the same view. Now we want to get rid of this optional, otherwise we're going to get an error. So when view.id, then on.id dot logout button. And I believe we need Firebase for this. I mean, no, I believe we do need it. So I'm auth Firebase auth. So late val. Why am I getting it? The validating it. Wait, I'm just, yeah. What am I doing? Jesus. Private. Private letting it val probably. Yeah. You know, been doing a lot of JavaScript. Hence the var. Oh, it's actually var. Private letting. What is this wrong? It should be right. Huh. Let's type it again. Private letting it var and not equals Firebase auth. What's wrong? And I hope it's not because of this. Duh. It's like that. And this is a typo, I'm pretty sure. Firebase auth. Yep, just a typo. Then here we want to get the instance. So auth equals Firebase auth, and we want to get rid of those parentheses and get the instance. And it doesn't matter that we do this method up because it's not going to get clicked. This is the first method that is going to be called when you see that layout. So don't worry that this method is above the onCreate. But onCreate, as it sounds, that method is called upon the creation of the activity. Which I don't know if I mentioned before. So here we just want to moth dot sign out. That's it. And what else? We want to send them. So I do it here, yeah. So start activity intent, because when the users sign out, we want to send them to the login activity class Java, and then and only then we finish. I believe you pop the activity from the stack. That way they cannot go back. They cannot go back to the previous activity. And I just want to check long. Damn, 38. I just don't know how it takes so long. Sorry, guys. And log out btn dot then click listener. This save. Just gonna hit the lightning bolt. Alright, so this is the one that is up to date. So I don't know, Mariana at gmail.com. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, blah blah blah. Just do it on purpose. Passwords must match. Good. 5, 6. Register. Takes me to the main activity. Cool. And you saw that registration was successful. So now, let's say that I close it and I run it again. Should take me directly into the main activity. And it didn't because I forgot to add this. And it's good that this happened. So upon creation, I want to do if unlock dot current user does not equal null. We want to, and this actually goes, we're gonna command cut. We're gonna go to login because this goes in the login, and upon creation we want to check this right away. So if the current user is not null, then we're going to do we're going to send them into the main activity. So start activity. Oh, I have 2%. Okay. So bear with me. No, wrong one. Because I really need to charge this. Okay. So, yep, this is where I recorded. Okay. So where were we? Oh, this is another project that I use for notes, but it's not exactly the same because I tried to do the login activity and it didn't work. So yeah, I had to like do a little bit more research on my own. Yeah. By the way, you saw this Discord. Go look Coding with Mitch on YouTube and to his webpage. He's actually really good. He does a lot of Java. In case you were wondering what this is. But yeah, so this is where we left off. And here you go. So if the current user is not null, we want to do start activity intent. We're going to this, the main activity, class at Java. And I believe I did this main activity. Okay, no, that's good. Dot Java, and then finish, because you don't want to allow the user to go back into the login activity if he's already, you know, signed in. So let's do a hot reload. And see, it automatically took me into the main activity. So I'm gonna close it, and then I'm gonna run it again, and it should take me into the main activity. There you go. Yeah, I don't know why this disappeared, but yeah, it took me to the main activity, and that's what we want. Now if we could log out and we close it and we run it, it doesn't take me to the main activity, and that's what we want. That's the type of security that we want. And with this, we finished the tutorial. So I hope that you guys liked it. I hope that you guys enjoy the new audio. I think it's amazing, but only you guys will be able to tell me. So I don't know. Leave me some comments, please. Give it a like, give it a subscribe if you liked it. And on the next video, I'm going to show you how to add the users into the database in order to manipulate the information. And yeah, see you guys next time. Bye.